Give me sunshine, yeah, yeah.
Welcome to the Instant Tutorials by the Ruggeds, where every week we teach you a new breaking technique. This technique is not only a breaking technique, it's a handstand, so it's the most basic of basics, and that's what we're gonna get into with me, Nick. You ready? Let's go. Like and subscribe, and let's get to it. So, handstand is very simple. You use your left hand, you use your right hand, you put them on the floor, you put your legs above your hands, and you're done. That's it. There's nothing more to it, you know? You can switch a little bit, go stand on this hand only, or maybe on this hand. Oh, no, I'm kidding. Okay, let's go. From the beginning. So this is where you want to get to. But a handstand actually is very simple to learn. It just takes a lot of repetition, and you need to build up some strength in your body. First, the easiest way to get into it, put your legs next to each other, you put your hands in front, and then you take one leg off the floor, and you're going to try to whip yourself up, right? Now in the beginning, it might feel like you can't get that center balance, but you will get there eventually, and I recommend you to also try to tip over and try to learn the feeling of how it feels to tip over, because a lot of people, when they're practicing handstand, you're so scared to get to this center point right here, you know, because they're afraid that if they go here, they're gonna fall, right? So the first thing you want to do is really get the feeling that if you fall, life goes on, right? So get this feeling of knowing, oh, I can roll out, it doesn't matter. Or I can go here, I can fall into a bridge, it's okay, yeah? So, what's important to understand is that there's a lot of little kind of tilting, pivoting points in your body that you can use to correct your handstand. Yeah? So you have your wrist, your fingers, your elbows, your shoulders. That's only in your hands. So if you're standing here in your hands, what you want to do is you want to put pressure on your fingers. Now when you watch like circus athletes do balance, they even do like this very sassy cat claw hand thing, you know? It's very sassy. Where, like when you look at my fingers, they're actually pushing down into the floor, so they're not relaxed. Their hands and their fingers are working, right? So when you're here and you use your fingers, you can push yourself back, right? Another thing, if you go forward, what you can do is you can pivot your elbow back, which will also give you more weight back. You can correct with your shoulders, yeah? What you want to do is, if you're standing on your hands, is to really try to have your arms above your shoulders. So try not to have them here, try to have them as much as you can above yourself, and try to lift your shoulders, right? So instead of doing this, you want to lift your shoulders. The higher the better, okay? So that's the arms. Now for the legs, to feel control, there is two things that really need to work together, and that's the knees and the hips, right? So the thing is when you move your knee, you also have to move your hip. So it's kind of like, if I want to be straight, when you look at my back, if I'm going down through my hips and my knees, right? So by doing this, by pivoting at the same time, you get this control in your legs where you can pull your legs in, you can stretch them out, you can open one side, open the other side. It's really important. Okay, so now there's not much to do but practice your handstand. And I would advise you to put a timer and try different things. So there's different types of control that you can get in your handstand. One of them is to challenge yourself to not move at all, right? So you're doing handstand, you try to keep one position, so you really are forced to work with your fingers, work with your elbows, yeah, it goes like this. So I'm taking this position and I'm not allowed to move my hands. So the moment I go up from here, I need to really work my fingers. If I go too far, work my elbows, Yeah. Work my core. Maybe use my, there you go. You see, I move my hand. So you really have to try to use your body to correct. Another thing that you can do is the opposite. Only try to walk, because walking also means you're adjusting your weight from left to right. So what for example you can do is you can do taps. Like try to tap and try as long as you can to stay on one hand when you tap. Yeah. So by playing like this, you will feel more comfortable on your left and on your right. Another thing that you should do is to try to find the extent of your stamina and your strength. So give yourself a timer and tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna do a handstand for as long as I can. Even if I fall down, doesn't matter. I fall down, I get back up and I re-continue and I try to see how long I make it on the timer. So you really work your shoulders, your core. And I think this is essential. If you don't feel comfortable on your hands, when you're doing breaking or anything like with dancing where you're using your upper body, you're really missing like some fundamentals that give you that freedom, right? Because the moment your hands start to really be equivalent to your legs, that's when all dimensions change, yeah? Because for you, doing this and doing this, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter anymore. So you can go 360, upside down, left and right. It's freedom, yeah? And freedom starts with the basics. So, enough talking, go practice, like and subscribe, get that handstand down. My name is Nick and I will see you next week.
Yo, if you have any tutorials you would like to see, put them in the comments below and we'll get to it. Remember, we do this for the love, but if you want to support us anyway, go to theruggeds.com and cop our merch.